Sharks come up just a little short on Barclay Goodrow's return to MSG. We'll break this one down. We'll break down, maybe we'll talk a little CUDA after a strong performance the other night. And like Bob Cole is saying, everything is happening right now here on Teal Town After Dark. Good evening, everyone. It is November 14th, 2024. The Sharks lose to the Rangers 3-2. We welcome you to Teal Town After Dark, your live interactive Sharks postgame here on YouTube. So please be part of the show by sharing your thoughts with hockey fans over Sharks territory and all over the world. Yes, doing that in our super chat, or if you're watching us on the replay, leave a comment down below. You can now interact with us in multiple ways. For those looking for another social media outlet, we have been on Threads since December 2023, and now you can join the Chomversation on Blue Sky. Look for Teal Town USA there. And we look forward to you following us over to the Blue Butterfly. And with that, I say good evening to Mr. Ian Reed. What is happening, my friend?
Not much. I mean, it was a game. It happened.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
It was the outro.
Hit the outro. Let's get us out.
Watching this from work, boss, don't get mad at me. The first period looked really solid. I thought the Sharks had a solid, first period on the road in MSG with all these kids, coming in and everything. And you get Liljegren getting his first goal as a Shark, not even 3 minutes in to make it 1-0. And they held down a highly touted Rangers squad.
Yeah, it was a reverse Oreo. Because the good stuff definitely wasn't in the middle period. I thought they had a good first, they had a good third.
Bravo, my friend.
The good stuff was not in the middle though. So it was a reverse Oreo. That's reverse Oreo. #.
Gotcha. All right.
We're gonna make this a thing.
All right, reverse Oreo. So
yeah.
Cream and the cookie in the middle. Okay.
That's right. Cookie in the middle, cream on the outsides is what this game would have looked like if it was an Oreo.
Gotcha. Looking in the chat right now, the Thing Finder can't even be mad. I thought the Rangers would destroy them. The Sharks stayed in it.
Agreed. So for people that aren't in the know, if you on our Discord channel, we do kind of like a pre-game prediction game that we do every game where we kind of
forgot again.
Where you try to pick the score and you try to pick like the first goal scorer, right? I'm very not good at this game. But I picked I think my prediction was like 7-1 Rangers because I thought the Rangers thrashed this team, and you have to give them credit. I think again, other than the second period, I thought they played a pretty good game. It's just unfortunate that the second period was, Dark Knight that 24 saying the cookie is better than the cream. I mean, I shouldn't eat any of it, but
neither should I. But
I mean, I would hear that argument. Look at, and then it's just a normal Oreo for you, my friend, and that's fine too.
Dark Knight 24.
That's fine, right?
Gotcha. Felix is saying, "Ooh, Ian sporting a Sioux Greyhounds jersey, eh?"
Yeah, I got this for my birthday. This is this is their alternate. Let me stand up and
show that thing. Ooh, okay.
Yeah. It is their new black alternate. I love it.
Nice. Very cool. All right. It wasn't cool though. The second period.
The second period was fucking awful.
Oh my gosh. I think they were outshot 16-6, which means through two periods, the Rangers had more shots in the second period themselves than the Sharks had in the first 40 minutes.
Yep.
And it showed. It was a little bit of parade to the penalty box for both teams early on. Jones goes off for holding, Goodrow for interference on the power play. 4 seconds in, we can go see the power play. That's gone. As everybody's talking about, hey, let's look at Will Smith and Macklin celebrating together on the power play. 4 seconds later.
Yeah. Well, I don't, for one, why is Barclay Goodrow on the power play? This team is frustrating because the problem is that they don't want to split up the Lund line. And I get it, right? We all love the fucking Lund line. I love the Lund line. It's great. The problem is, though, is that I think they feel that if they put Smith and Celebrini together on a line, because that if you have the Lund line, then that's pretty much your option, right? You got to put Smith with Celebrini and Toffoli. But I think that they're just worried that line will get caved in. And I kind of agree it probably would. Putting him on the power play is better, though, right? Because you shouldn't get caved in on the power play. Power play, you should have the puck. And I think that the Sharks have done an okay job on the power play this year. I think that like a lot of the systems look like they're finally starting to come together, which is what you would expect at this point in the season. So yeah, I think that's the problem, right? Like Will Smith, I'd like to see like them actually have scoring lines instead of who's your third line grinder that's going to play top line role, because you can't split up the Lund line. And again, I get why like everyone loves the Lund line. I love the Lund line. It does kind of hamstring your ability to put together, two really good lines, in my opinion.
And it's tough because it's, in a way, I think, what did we see? Toffoli, Celebrini, and Klim Kostin in the preseason. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was going to be a thing because Klim has a hint of a scoring touch when he's not being an idiot out there on the ice, and to be kind of the defender for if anybody wants to challenge Celebrini. And that just kind of went away because they tried that 70s line with, Eklund and Toffoli with Celebrini, and that went by the wayside, of course, after night one.
Yeah, and I wish that I wish that line got a little more time to cook.
Yeah.
It's hard though, right? Like, because I just feel like if you're not gonna play Will Smith in the top 6, then I don't know what we're doing.
And that's the tough part, and just looking at the stuff is just, oh, no, we don't want to see that yet. There you go. But then the other thing in, Molasses, second period was on. We know it isn't awful. I love you, boy. Molasses, right back at you, buddy. So in Dark Knight 24, too many turnovers. Yeah.
It's not even just too many turnovers. I mean, the problem was, especially in the second period, was that they were getting all this offensive time, or not. Yeah. They weren't getting like, let me rephrase that. When they got offensive, because I don't want to make it sound like they were in the offensive zone for a ton of time in the second period, but when they got in the second, when they got offensive zone time, it didn't turn into shots.
Oh, you don't say, and thank you for the segue here.
Okay.
I mean, like this, where it's a 3-on-1, and for once the Burnsy Starfish defensive posture works after Peedle gets nailed by freaking,
his own player, Keandre Miller.
His own player. And good on the Sharks for picking it up and going for that, but it's like, dude,
but how do you not get a shot there? Right?
How do you not get a shot right there?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, what are we doing, gang?
Yeah, because I mean, who's back? Adam Fox?
Sure, we'll call him Adam Fox.
Yeah. I think it was Adam Fox, but I mean, regardless, right? Like, it doesn't matter who's back there. Like, that needs to turn into a shot on goal, especially a 3-on-1. Like, that's insanity.
I mean, because you have the Rangers just tie it previously with the Mika Zibanejad goal to make it 1-1, and then after that, that was kind of like, the Rangers Barclay Goodrow fight from the other night, where they go and carry that momentum, and like not even a minute later, VC scores to make it 2-1.
Yeah.
You had the Rangers score another goal, but gets called back for goaltender interference by Trocheck.
Correct.
And then Trocheck makes up for it by scoring the actual third goal to make it 3-1, and it was just downhill from there.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the Zibanejad goal for a minute there, because I think like that's a frustrating goal because it's bad defense, right? Like Blackwood plays the puck and he puts it exactly where he should. But then Cody Ceci doesn't really, I don't know what he's doing. He doesn't get to the puck, right? I mean, that's his job. He has to get to that puck, and he doesn't get there first. He loses the race to that puck, and it wasn't like it was like a huge distance, right? Like I think it was a pretty set play that you see goalies and defensemen make all the time. But the Rangers get to the puck first. And then, a lot of puck watching in this game too. Henry Thrun, I think had a little bit of a rough night too. And he like Zibanejad's his guy, and he's nowhere near him. Like he just, I don't know if he's watching the puck. I'm not sure what he's doing there, but like Zibanejad's his guy, and he's nowhere near Zibanejad, and you're not going to get a much easier goal than that. And a guy again who's for the Rangers who's been kind of in a slump gets a pretty easy one there.
Yeah. And I mean, what did the guys say tonight? It was like he has like 12 or 13 points, and he's been on a run, but it's only his third goal of the year and doesn't have any power play goals. So, yeah, I don't know. Tony Couture joining us in. Good to see you, bud. How should Warsofsky change his lines or lineup to improve this team? Should he put Giovanni Smith back in so he can clear the net on the power play? I don't know. You need a big body, but you need somebody to be
you have a guy who can do that in Fabian Zetterlund, who has a much more scoring touch, right? I don't think I don't know, man. I don't want Giovanni Smith anywhere near that power play, because again, it kind of goes back to the problem that I think the Sharks have, is where you're putting guys that aren't, you're putting guys in roles that they shouldn't be in. Like,
right.
It's like, I don't hate Barclay Goodrow, but like, what's he doing on the first line? Right. And I feel like you need to get your, like, I think that they do need to be a little bit tougher to play in front of the net, but I think that's what Fabian Zetterlund's for, and he's perfectly built for that. And again, he's a guy that has the scoring touch.
Yeah, I mean, and talented enough.
Yeah,
to go in and tip it in, and that's where he was. He was in the slot when they get the power play goal with about a half a minute to go in regulation to make it a 3-2 final, and it's just like, too little too late, guys. That's a teaser goal again. But yeah, I mean, that's the guy who has skill and talent
with it, right? Like this is like this Rangers team is a team, like they're not just this is a team with Stanley Cup aspirations. So I mean, for the Sharks to come in and do what they did tonight and basically hang in there. Like, again, the second period wasn't good, and I'm not going to pretend the second period is good, but the first period and third period, like you see a lot of things where like you can get excited about where this team's heading.
Yes,
I think so. Yeah, again, I think I give them a lot of credit for hanging with this Rangers team, because this Rangers team is really good.
Yeah, and they're a phenomenal team. Let's give it credit. I mean, I know we don't want to have more moral victories, but this season I think you're going to have a lot more of those.
Well, I mean, what are you going for though? Like, I mean, real victories would be nice, but at the same time, like this is a team that's, I don't think anyone thinks that they've turned the corner.
Right. No, I agree, and that's what ThinkFinder I think is kind of saying as
Mhm.
well. They're making it hard for any team. They are showing the league that a win will not be a cakewalk for them. Yeah, my
Yeah.
God,
And
so
that's all you really want. Like that is what you want at this point in the rebuild.
yeah,
You want, you want them to be a harder team to play against. You want to see the young guys coming along, which I think we're seeing, right?
right,
To various degrees.
right. So Mackenzie Blackwood, I
Mhm.
thought he had a decent night. Again, he
Yeah.
had 32 saves on 35 shots, another 914. Um, I mean, and kind of piggyback off of Nando's comment, we heard, originally from Elliot Friedman on 32
Mhm.
Thoughts. What do you guys think about the Avs' interest in Blackwood? They're hurting in goal and we're still rebuilding. Worth it now or wait till deadline? I don't think we're there
It's
yet.
hard, right? Like the thing that I get concerned with is that would leave you like that means you're bringing Askarov up,
Right.
which is fine. I mean, I think he's a guy who we expect to get NHL games at some point. It's hard because goalies don't generally fetch much at the deadline, except for a few rare cases. I know someone's going to scream at me like, Marc-Andre Fleury got this. He's Marc-Andre Fleury. It's hard because I feel like if they don't, I think if Colorado blows your socks off, you probably make the move, right? Because I think
Right.
again, this is a team where they have a goalie in the AHL who's probably ready for NHL minutes, based on what he's done with the Barracuda. Now we'll talk about the Barracuda in a bit, I guess is what we're gonna do, but you also kind of want to build some like I think learning to win at lower levels helps you win at higher levels.
Yeah.
And I just selfishly probably, you know, I want to be I want them to be like I want the Barracuda to be good. But I think the only reason the Barracuda are as good as they are is a lot because Askarov's given them just insane goaltending. Probably at times better goaltending than they deserve. Um, so I do have concerns there, I guess. But I think if Colorado absolutely blows your socks off, though, I mean, you obviously have to consider that, right?
Right. I mean, if it's something that you can't pass up,
Yeah,
obviously you got to go for it.
yeah.
But
I just don't know what like Colorado is going to be looking because again, this is another team with Stanley Cup aspirations, right? So they're not going to like I wouldn't mind Tays for Blackwood, but like they're not giving you Tays for Mackenzie Blackwood. Like
right.
that's not fucking happening, right? They're
We
gonna give
wish.
you we wish, but like that's if you think that's what's gonna happen, it's not right. It's gonna be picks and futures because they're not going to remove a piece of their team that is a vital part of the team because again this Colorado team maybe they're not doing good right now but this is a team again with Stanley Cup aspirations and they're not going to kill their defense core to add a goalie.
Right. Right. When I did the polling on American election night, I said, when should Yaroslav Askarov make his San Jose Sharks
I
debut?
didn't know where this was going. I was scared for a second.
Come on now. We're not going to get, yeah. No, no. We're hockey only. 30% said only if Blackwood or Vanacek get injured. 56% said marinate with the Cuda, to let him do his thing and go for a Calder Cup with everybody. And then 14% said bring him up now.
Yeah, I look
Oh,
at. I mean, there's always going to be people like the thing is with Askarov, right? Like put the health of the Barracuda aside because it comes down to the things with prospects and the tricky thing with prospects is like I I don't always believe in over ripening a guy. Like I think when a guy shows that they've handled that level,
yeah.
it's probably time to bring them up. right? Like that's just my opinion, right?
I-
Like selfishly, I want the Barracuda to continue being a wagon, but
yeah,
I think, but Askarov is in a position where I don't think that regular NHL time wouldn't, wouldn't be maybe the best thing for him. Like it sucks because I want the Barracuda to be good.
right.
I want one of these teams to be quote unquote good.
Please, for the
Please.
sake of our sanity.
Yeah. But I also think that Askarov, like not just what he's shown in a short time on the Barracuda this year, but obviously in his time with what's the team he used to play for?
The Milwaukee Admirals.
Yes, Milwaukee Admirals. I was trying to remember I knew it was Nashville's farm team, but I just couldn't remember you know what I mean?
No, totally. And that graphic that AJ sent us yesterday.
Oh, he tweeted it too.
Or did he tweet it too?
Oh yeah.
The top 4 goaltenders in the AHL, was it save percentage?
No, he used goals against average. He didn't use save.
Goals
Like,
against
average
sorry.
is a team stat, in my opinion. Save
Fair
percentage,
enough.
goalie stat.
Fair enough.
Save percentage was not on that list.
But I was just chuckling because it's like you have Brandon Halverson from Syracuse, who's like leading the way with a 0.9. No, it is goals against. Yeah, 0.99 goals against. And then it was Magnus Krona, now in Milwaukee with a 1.40. Ian's boy, Devin Cooley, 1.46. Of course it is.
Okay, so here's the thing though, right?
And Askarov with 1.64. Sorry, I just want to get that in there.
Here's the thing, and I'm sure I'm gonna have to repeat this on Sunday, but like, so stay tuned for that.
Yes.
I know people are gonna get really mad when people get really mad when I talk about Devin Cooley. So I'm gonna try and phrase this the best way possible and still piss them off anyway. I think that, like, look at, I think there's a difference between being a good goalie and being a goalie on a good team. The Calgary Wranglers are a very good team. Yaroslav Askarov is a good goalie on a mediocre team. Because look, you watched the game last night, right? Askarov made 49 saves or something stupid. Like it was 48 saves. The Barracuda, it was a typical Barracuda game. They're killing penalties nonstop, like a lot of dumb penalties, right? And Askarov bails them out. And again, like there's good things happening on the Barracuda, but again, like this is a team that like took a million penalties.
Yeah.
And then their goalie kind of bails them out. Like there's Askarov, like, and again, I'm not trying to like say that the Barracuda aren't good. I just don't think that they are quote unquote great. I think they're good. I just don't think they're great. And I think the reason, and again, I think Askarov has made them look better than they are.
I mean, absolutely. Granted, I'll give some credit to the PK where, and again, like there's San Diego go 1 for 8, but I mean, it comes down to Askarov, and
there's good things happening there, no doubt. Like Bordelot finally kind of got off the schneid. He got a couple of goals. Again, there's a guy who missed training camp. Luca Cagnoni's been amazing down there, like way better than I expected him to be this early in his pro career. I think Philip Beestead before he got hurt, so fucking good. Not getting talked about nearly enough how good he was. Colin Graff, complete revelation down there.
Wow.
A guy who on the Sharks last year, I'm like, okay, Colin Graff, nice pickup. But like, I didn't get the hype. Like a lot of people were really hyped about it, and I didn't get the hype. I'm getting it now, right? On the Barracuda, I think he's, I think obviously he's like leading the team in scoring. He's been great. So I mean, like there's a lot of really cool things happening on the Barracuda. I'm not trying to like completely shit on them. I just think that I think that the games this weekend against Calgary Wranglers are going to be very telling to tell you what kind of team this Barracuda team is. Because I think that again, that Calgary forward group is just, it's dumb. There's no better way to. It's stupid. It's so stupid good.
And like, it's going to be a test. It's going to be a test and a big test. And if they pull this, and if they win the pair of games on the weekend, oh heck yeah, you better get psyched for the CUDA.
Yeah, I want them to win. Obviously, I just think that we're going to learn a lot about this Barracuda team this weekend.
And Ian doing Barracuda After Darks in the middle of April would be great.
That would be great. Yeah, I'd like that.
So as Ian said, Thomas Borlow with his first 2 goals of the season, both on the power play. Luca Cagnoni with a pair of assists, and Askarov with 48 saves in that 2-1 win for the CUDA. It's just, it's nice to see. And come on, gang. I mean, the CUDA are a wagon. You need to get out there and support the team.
Yeah, I know, and like
big.
I'm not trying to say like I think that the Barracuda are a good team. I don't know if they're a great team. And I think they're 100%. Like, if you've ever been on the fence about going to Tech CU, now's the time to go to Tech CU and watch a game. 100%, right? Like, I think that, like, I don't want people to get it twisted. Like, I think that this team is well worth your support this year.
And not to give them free ads, but I mean, they have like a 5-game plan and a puck signed by either Celebrini, Smith, or Eklund or Askarov for like $75 down here. That's
That ain't bad. Yeah,
that's a great deal and a half. I mean, basically you're getting tickets for free and probably a puck that's worth something, you know.
Yeah, I think this team should be a playoff team. This team, and that's ignoring the fact, like, I think they should be still in, like, this team should be well in the playoffs. This shouldn't be we're 7th place. We made the playoffs because the AHL playoffs are silly. Like, this should be a comfortable playoff team. I think they're 100% worth supporting, but like, again, I want to see how they stand up to this Calgary team, because I think it's going to be a huge test.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one this weekend. Hockey is for everyone night on Saturday, and then a pirate party, whatever that might be, on Sunday at 3 p.m.
We all pirate the game.
Yes, yes, we find a pirate stream, to find a game for sure. So there's that. There's your Barracuda brief in the reef, I guess we'll call it.
Brief in the reef.
But want to go back a little bit, and I'll credit Sheng Peng for the video of this. But I guess there weren't any private lockers for the Sharks to use at Chelsea Pier when they were practicing, so they invited and this had to be a kick for this guy here. I believe he's 65 years old. I'm trying to pull it up from Sheng. But I mean, this Harold Robinson, he sees that, the guys are changing and everything. He's looking for another rink, and Warsofsky says to one of the equipment managers, come on out here, we need you. It was freaking kick of it. So I had to share that. But I mean, the 65-year-old just hanging out playing hockey, and then he gets to take on shots from the Sharks is pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, is that the Avalanche Reverse Retro?
No, it's a classic Quebec Nordiques.
Nice.
So there's that. Again, I'm going to credit Sheng Peng. Our watermark got in there when I recorded the video, so Sheng, apologies for that. But
yeah, we're in trouble.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to keep us out of trouble.
The heat.
Well, it's getting spicy over there. Who's on the back of that Shark Freak tarp? You know who it is, AJ. Come on now. Any news on the captain?
No, not that I've heard. As far as I know, not skating, not doing anything. Having babies.
Yes, he just had his.
Well, not him having a baby, but
well, yeah, that would be a first. So there's that. Vlasic, still no word on that either.
I completely forgot the Vlasics like on the team.
AJ is saying, if I knew, I wouldn't. Well, no, it's Dalton Prout. Dalton Prout on that one. So that's why I got a good deal on it. Any news on Wallman?
Day to day.
Yeah. Day to day. I mean, he skated, but he didn't go today for the morning skate. So we'll see how it goes. And no update on Sturm following the game, although Sheng said he did see him walking around. I still don't know what happened there. You skating with
Same.
the puck into the zone, and then you saw him grimace for pain. So who knows?
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. If that's something that although they are on the road, so I don't know how long are they on the road for.
They have tomorrow, or no, not tomorrow. Excuse me, Saturday at Pittsburgh. They come home all the way from Pittsburgh to San Jose for one game to play Detroit, and then they go back out on the road to Dallas and St. Louis before they come back for the jumbo game.
Okay, so I'm curious to see if they do anything, knowing that they are going to come home for that one game. If they think like he's going to be out for any period of time, if they're going to do any, if they call somebody up, I would assume Ethan Cardwell would get the call up in that situation, just because I think he fits the role that Sturm plays better than some of the more goal scoring guys. Although it would be nice that they would, if they'd put a goal scorer, a guy who's a top six kind of guy in the, instead of Barclay Goodrow, Tidal, Andrea, Luke Cunnin, et cetera.
Maybe try out Colin Graff and
Colin Graff's a guy who I think, I would think that he's probably earned a call up. If Ethan Cardwell doesn't, I didn't even think of that when I was tweeting it earlier too. But yeah, I think he's probably a guy who's probably at least earned a shot to come play on the top line. I wouldn't hate if they brought back Gushkin. And I think I wonder.
You wonder?
I'm sorry, I'm just reading.
Okay.
AJ will argue about this on Sunday.
No, yeah, don't worry, AJ. Well, I already teased it for you. He's already gonna have fun with you on Sunday with this. So, and Nick saying Dellandrea has been horrible. The puck dies on his stick.
I think, yeah, but that's never like. I think that Dellandrea is good. I think he's responsible enough in his own end. I think putting him on the top line is absolutely batshit crazy, but I think that he's fine on the third line.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I think that kind of wraps things up for us in this evening. So in case you missed anything or you want to watch this again, check us out on tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, wherever you get your podcasts. Of course, if you're watching us on the YouTube channel, by all means, please hit that subscribe button. It really does go help a long way for us. Like this video and leave a comment if you're watching us on the replay on what you thought of tonight's game, and think of, if Sturm is out, who does get the move up? Clem Costin?
I mean, Clem Costin has been sitting for a long time. It's kind of fat. Like, there's always that one guy who just ends up in the doghouse, right? And Kevin LeBank's not here anymore, so Clem Costin is clearly that guy now. I mean, it sucks, right? Because I think I like Clem Costin in spurts last year, but this year he wasn't good when he got in. But he's been sitting a long time, man.
Yeah, it'll remain to be seen what happens there. It will be interesting if you call up somebody and and Costin sitting back, So,
I mean, I think at some point you have to give him a go, right? Like, I mean, even Giovanni Smith has gotten into the lineup a couple of times, and Giovanni Smith's not an every night guy by any stretch of the imagination, but it's interesting that he's gotten back into the lineup on more occasions than Costin has. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. I think that getting him back in the lineup probably wouldn't be the worst thing.
No. Pittsburgh, though, on Saturday, I mean, they are desperate right now. I mean, is it a good test for him to do that? And for that matter, what do you expect going into Pittsburgh on Saturday?
I mean, to me, that's a very winnable game for the Sharks.
I agree.
Pittsburgh's a team that's kind of reeling right now. Obviously, I think that they're a team that I think it's hard, right? When you don't commit to fully rebuilding, but you still make kind of moves that a rebuilding team makes. Like, I don't think that they're very happy that oh fuck, what's his name? He is in Tampa now. Jake Gensel.
Oh.
I don't think they were very happy when they lost Jake Gensel. I think that rubbed guys in the room wrong way. And I think that, and that's a hard thing, right? Like when you're kind of, I mean, we know this as Sharks fans because the Sharks were kind of in that situation before where they were just kind of stuck in neutral. It's like, yeah, we'll sell some pieces at the deadline, but we're not actually rebuilding. We're not actually going to tear it down. I understand that they've got it. They want to do right by Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin and Chris Letang, right? Like those guys have been career Penguins. They want to do right by those guys.
Right.
But at the same time, like, I think they're in the worst place you could possibly be. You're not a team that's going to do anything, and you're not rebuilding, so you're kind of just stuck in neutral. Where are they in the standings right now? Let me look at this quick.
They are, let me see. I wish I had that up for you already.
I can't find my mouse. There it is.
Where is it? Where's that mouse? Pittsburgh 6-9-3 with 15 points. They are only above Columbus in the Metropolitan.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a team that they might pick in the top 10, right? But I think there's enough talent on that team that they could fuck it up and like be in the late 10s, which isn't a particularly amazing place to be in this draft coming up, because I don't think this draft it's not bad. Like, I don't say it's a bad draft. I don't think there's any such thing as a bad draft. Like, there's players in every draft, but it's not this year's draft, or not the year that just passed. Like, I don't think it's as good as the year that just passed. So yeah, I mean, the Rangers are in a shitty spot. They're gonna probably finish, and they might finish in the top 10.
I mean, Penguins,
yes, whatever. What did I say?
Rangers.
Oh, the Rangers. Yeah, no, the Rangers are gonna.
The Rangers might be okay.
The Rangers should be fine. The Penguins, on the other hand, like I think that there's still enough on that team that they should somehow get into the middle mush of, yeah, you're in the lottery, but you're not in a good spot. And then, and then kind of go from there. It sucks. Like, I would be really frustrated as a Penguins fan right now. And I understand what they did. And I think that, Kyle Dubas came in, he probably was given the marching orders that this is what we're doing. We're keeping this together and blah, blah, blah. Which is weird though, because like Ron Hextall got the axe for not getting rid of not breaking up those three. So
right.
It's a weird thing going on in Pittsburgh. But I think at some point they're gonna figure out not enough to be good, but I think enough to not, be a great lottery team, but not be a playoff team either. But they need to get Kristen Jarry head back on straight. That'd be a big first thing.
Maybe another location for the Sharks to look at sending a goaltender to, if they think that they can make a run.
Yeah, nothing to do with. I don't think the Sharks want anything to do with that contract, though. Let me look up.
No. I'm saying sending Vanacek or Blackwood over there.
No, but you'd have to take Jarry back, right? There's a thing called the salary cap.
I think it's affordable. I don't know where is Pittsburgh at the salary cap wise. I'm sure they're right up against it, since
there's no way that they can. I think they have what do they have?
Pittsburgh
has like a less like a million and a half. Yeah. Like if you're sending them a goalie, you're taking back Tristan Jarry, who has like 4 more years left on that deal at 5.375. They can take the money, but can they, you know what I mean? But that's
But
do you want that contract for that long?
No, you don't.
That's my thoughts too.
Because you're just now going to get out of buyout purgatory with everybody.
Yeah, it's just it's dumb, right? Like we don't.
It's just
Yeah. It's a crappy place to be in.
Well, have fun with that.
Nick asking what's Beasted I don't know. I haven't heard specifically. I'm hoping that Nick gets back on the Barracuda call soon, because he's usually a little bit better at getting that information out. But I don't know. I just know that he has been scratched for injury reasons.
And the same thing with Casper Haltonen. We haven't heard from him since he had that injury. So,
yeah.
and Halton was a beast out there with Beasted for this team. And just think when those two guys come back, how the CUDA will be.
Yeah, Haltonen's I think is an interesting case, because I wonder if he is injured for too long, if they just, when he finally gets healthy, if they just send him back to junior at that point. Which would be fine, because London's is an absolute wagon still, so they would happily take him.
Just ask Sam Dickinson.
yeah, London's still a wagon. They take him.
All right. We are out of here. We will be back with you on Saturday following Sharks and Penguins. That's a 4 p.m. start. It'll be, I believe it's you and me again.
Yep.
Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, that's for you. Not like we haven't done a million of these together.
Oh, I know. It's been fun these last 10
People
years.
Still watch. I don't know.
Hey, just think, when the Sharks get hot, we'll be hot. All right,
that's true.
That's all. Especially if you follow us on Blue Sky. That's all.
So, hit me up on that. I remember, it's funny because we went it's funny how things change. Because on Sunday, when Pucknologist we were asked about Blue Sky, and I was like, I don't know. And then I already had a Blue Sky, but it's hard because I still think a lot of people are still there's still a lot of things that you can't get on Blue Sky that you get on Twitter still. I hate Twitter, dude. I think it's such a twat.
Well, he's about to have his thing about to blow up.
Oh,
I think they said over 1 million users have jumped over to Blue Sky in the past week.
That's fine. He has a whole government department to run now.
Yes, government efficiency. I'm sure it's going to go as well as Department of Player Safety. So.
I think Elon's a twat, and Threads. I don't I have, again, I think I have a Threads too, but it's Meta, and I stopped using Meta anything Meta a long time ago other than Instagram. So, which I don't use very often, but
but in the future, make sure you follow us on Mastodon as well. So, all right, for Ian, I'm Eric. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Saturday following Sharks and Penguins. Until then, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. Have a great night, everyone.